It's been a long time, or months, since I've seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Side of Dimensions back in January, and I was offered a free Obelisk the Tormentor, but I still unwrapped it just to see what it looks like, and oh my gosh, looks great. So, what did I think about the movie? Well, it's good for usuals. I mean, I'm still baffled at the fact that Rotten Tomatoes just gave it the lowest rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, not as bad as other movies are nowadays. And in case you've been asking, yes, I changed this background just to update my reviews more often, just so I don't get any negative reviews for my last review that didn't do so well with the Homecoming review. But I will update some of my reviews in the near future, I'm guessing. But for now, I might keep this background until I know which background to use. And yes, spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear it, click away or go to a time code immediately. I'll give it out in the video soon enough. So, the thing that bugged me the most was how everybody was laughing when Joey Wheeler was choking Tristen while saying Uncle, Uncle. Everybody laughed like a weeboo haven't seen that before. Like, that utterly confused me at that part. Another problem that bugged me the most was how Kaiba was able to do all these physically impossible stuff, like how he got way ahead of Aigami, collecting the second Millennium piece to that puzzle, and he used the new dual disc to escape Aigami's power of the Plama, and that's something I don't get. Or I'm just nitpicking. I forgot this meme. So, let's get to the awesome parts. I'm not going to deny when Kaiba summoned Obelisk the Tormentor, that part was awesome. And especially everybody clapping in the theater because of Obelisk's return. And the thing that kind of bugged me, well, not really bugged, was that I'm surprised how they still kept that same design from the new Obelisk. Just like from 2013 or 14. I'm really not sure what year is that from, but probably some person's going to mention it in the comment section down below. But he still had the same abilities. And and for some people who are wondering why was Kaiba able to summon that, I'll explain why right now. Because, like he said before in the beginning, he's able to summon it through his brain, through this new dual dimension system, and it's virtually connected to his brain, meaning he can summon it and he still remembers how to use Obelisk when he still had it back then. So, as long as you know what to do with Obelisk the Tormentor and you know exactly what it looks like and what it does, then he knows how to use Obelisk and he can summon it. And the thing I liked the most was the new cubic monsters that stand up against the Blue Eyes alternative White Dragon and the three Blue Eyes. And I kind of like the backstory of Aigami and his young sister, and I like the way how Joey and Tristen were doing that chin thing while everyone was laughing at the theater, and especially Yugi threatening Kaiba the most because he wanted to duel Aigami to get Bakura back after he was kidnapped by Aigami. And the funniest thing I would like to say was how Kaiba sincerely said to Yugi after summoning the different type of magicians like Apple Magician, Lemon Magician. He says, "You fight me with fruit, don't mock me." Everyone laughed at the theater, but my cousin laughed at it because it means some heterosexual thing, I guess. But to him, I didn't know. But anyways, back to the movie. And I like Chaos Max Dragon the most. And Metamorph Fortress, that's a good card. And my favorite part was that almost at the end, the final duel between Aigami versus Yugi after Kaiba knows this is this type of dimension, and not once has he ever said that this is a hologram malfunction. Oh yeah, speaking of Kaiba Corp, well, not speaking of Kaiba Corp, but speaking of Kaiba, the thing that bothered me was that they had a gun behind Aigami when Aigami was getting a little closer to Kaiba, and then one of his agents pulled a gun behind his back, and everyone went like, "Oh." Yeah, and that bothered me too. Since when do they include guns in an anime series? I mean, Well, at least it isn't released in the show, otherwise there could have been a problem. There'll probably be more bugging parents out there who are more annoying as PETA will be, who have a problem with that scene. Well, let's get out of that scene and continue with the final moment that was my favorite. So, when Kaiba is out of the duel, since he sacrificed himself for Yugi, Yugi duels and says his last words saying, believing in the heart of the cards, and then a light appears and we all know it. Everybody clapped in the theater and we knew it was a 10, and then that music came on, and that was the greatest moment I've ever seen. Like seeing it, Yugi finally beat the power of the Plama and Aigami, and so it was a good ending climactic. And I certainly loved the way Kaiba travels to the same dimension to get to Yugi, and then and I like the ending that they were going with. Eventually, Kaiba finally gets to duel with Yugi, and I hope the abridged series makes it much greater and funnier. Well, I can certainly say, for instance, that it's it's great. I should never have said it was good. I had a great time at the theater, and eventually, and I do hope to see. Oh, really? Link summoning? Okay, maybe I'm not gonna focus more on that. I'm better off reviewing it with Wolfie-chan. So, anyways, what do I think of the movie? Great movie, and I had a great experience at the theater. Never before, but never before have I ever seen a weeaboo ever get over exaggerant over a Yu-Gi-Oh series, and I even seen a one fangirl cry over a Tem, and I'm like, really? But at least I have no problems with that, and I had plenty of great time just to get that annoyance far away from me. But that didn't bug me most of the time. So, who is my favorite character? Yes, it is Seto freaking Kaiba, the most part. And what deck do I run? Blue Eyes and Supreme Kings, and Dinosaur and every other dragon deck, and this, well, maybe some reptiles deck. Uh, yes, and I still duel. But am I playing Link? I have several things to say about Link summoning. Really? They couldn't come up with better stuff? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, your better option is just getting a synchro. But if you're not a fan of the new generation, then don't get XYZs or pendulums. I run them for a certain reason. You'll learn the reason later. But right now, it's best to say I give this Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Side of Dimensions an 8 out of 10.